Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I'd like to inform you guys why abstinence-only programs are ineffective in school in preventing teen pregnancies and STDs. As many of you guys might have experienced, if you guys taken grade school in the state of California, sexual education is part of the curriculum. And many schools, if you guys have experience, like I said before, you guys experience sex ed, they teach abstinence only, meaning say no. They don't teach you about condoms, they don't teach you about any other form, they just teach you abstinence, saying no. And I'm informing you why that is not going to be very effective. There are obviously other ways to inform teens and young adults about the dangers without saying no is the only way. Abstinence may work for children at a young age, but for teens, especially at a time when their curiosity peaks, it may not, if at all, be effective. Here's some numbers to explain what I mean. There are other contraceptives and options available to teens. According to the 2006 U.S. Census data, 26 states saw a significant increase in teen birth rates. That is a little over half of the country that saw an increase in teen birth rates. From 1991 to 2005, there was a decrease, but from 2006 to 2007, there was an increase in birth rates among teens. Here's why it doesn't work. Teens are curious. That's a natural fact of life. You tell them no, they're going to do it. They're rebellious, you know? That's just a natural fact. You can't get around that. Also, many parents insist that contraceptives should not be taught in school, but rather taught at home. But nowadays, not many parents teach about sexual education at home. An expert, Nora Gelperin, an expert in sexual education, says that sexuality is still a very taboo subject in our society, and that adults aren't properly preparing them to make responsible decisions. Basically, even though parents want to say, no, we shouldn't teach about condoms in class, but I'm not going to teach about them at home either, so it makes it pointless. There are other alternatives available, and it is not limited to simply abstinence and the prevention of teen pregnancies and the spread of STIs. According to Fox News, at present, there does not exist any strong evidence that any abstinence program delays the initiation of sex, hastens the return to abstinence, or reduces the number of sexual partners. On the other hand, comprehensive sexual education has proven to produce better results. A study showed that 2/3 of the 48 comprehensive programs that supported both abstinence and the use of condoms and contraceptives for sexually active teens had positive behavior effects. Some abstinence programs also mislead teens. According to the Washington Post, an investigation was created to study the effectiveness of the abstinence programs. The results show that 9 of the 11 curriculum studied were using materials pervasively presented subjective opinions as scientific fact. Basically, people thinking what they believed is right, or which isn't proven as right, as part of the curriculum saying, okay, here's an example. One example is, HIV can spread via sweat and tears. No, that doesn't happen. That's not true, okay? So in conclusion, I would like to say, abstinence-only programs are ineffective in reducing teen pregnancies and the spread of STDs. Scare tactics used to work in the past, but this is the 21st century, and the old century beliefs are now outdated. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, you've got a clear statement of what the claim is. It's got two parts at the end, so you want a covering term to get all of that in. There's not really a setup of what the structure is going to be, although it's not that complicated to follow. It's a pretty short presentation. The claim about the frequency of abstinence-only programs, though, is largely assumed. You need to demonstrate that they are widely used or that they are in some way a particular threat, because it sounds to me like you're doing a comparison, but I don't know that abstinence-only is the program that's used most frequently. You kind of assume that it is in California, that if people here took a sex education, you were simply told to just say no. My guess would be if people in here were asked about sex education, they probably heard something about STDs and birth control and that sort of thing. So I don't know, and I don't get any evidence on it either way, so I think that that's something that needs to be developed. Your internal signposting needs to be stronger. Let's see. There seems to be kind of an assumption that kids are not able to learn to restrain themselves. The best evidence that you have on that is just that the birth rates are going up. But on the other hand, since we've had dropping rates of STDs and births, unintended pregnancies, and then it's gone up, it suggested some period of time there was some restriction. I don't know why there isn't the same kind of effectiveness now. You seem to be implying this because of abstinence-only programs. I think that's a bit of a stretch. The best piece of evidence that you had was the information that said that a study done on abstinence-only programs found that they were not effective. It had some general conclusions in it. I thought that was very effective at supporting your argument there. I think you started to make some comparisons that needed a little bit more development. You've got the one example of some misinformation that might have been spread in some of the abstinence-only programs. Those are okay examples, but we don't have any idea about how typical they are. I thought it was very forcefully presented, but you do have a lot of time, so there's more that you could have explained and maybe developed a little bit more supporting information on it. All right. Thank you.